Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are excited about today's session. That's going to be all about organization websites. Presenting today is Matt Sinclair, an account manager here at RunSignup, who also happens to be an expert on this topic and has some great information to share with you guys. Real quick, before I hand off over to him, I'm going to just review a few housekeeping items. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, we will be doing our best to go through and answer them. And if for any reason we don't get to it, we will have somebody follow up with you. Do not worry about taking any kind of notes or trying to take screenshots unless that's what you want to do, because we will be sharing with all registrants within 24 to 48 hours a recorded webinar, and then we will also be sending out a follow-up email with these slides as well. So you will have all that great information at your fingertips. And without further ado, I will pass this over to Matt.
Awesome. Thanks, Daniela. Yeah, today I'm excited to talk with everybody about our organizational website feature. We're going to go over what those actually are, how to actually get started with your organizational website, how to customize the theme, utilizing the website builder if you're not familiar with that tool, as well as setting up a cover page and domain for the website. And then we'll show you a roadmap of what is to come later this year with the org websites. So we are technology experts. Our mission is to make it free and easy for small businesses and nonprofits to generate more revenue, grow their events, and engage their attendees. And we create free and easy to use event software that you can fully control. And today we'll be showcasing the organizational website. So what is an organizational website? Think of it as your actual website, but letting RunSignup kind of host that for you. So these are generally designed for your content that can span across multiple events that you have with RunSignup. So it can take the place of your current website, or you can have it kind of operate as a more subdomain, and we'll get into that a little bit later, where it just kind of showcases your calendar of events that you already have on RunSignup, which will automatically be dynamic based off of if they're upcoming or if people are looking for past results and things like that. It'll also work as a landing page to direct traffic to all your events that you have to make sure they're going to register for the correct ticket event or run, walk, ride, or 5K or what have you. So it can definitely include anything that you have listed on RunSignup, such as your races, on GiveSignup if you're doing peer-to-peer fundraising events, as well as TicketSignup if you're using us for the ticket event software. So it is an all-in-one website. It's free. It comes with we'll host your website for you. It has the secure SSL certificate, and you can have as many pages on this website as you want to do. It's branded to your organization and not ours, so you can showcase your logo and your brand. There's no ads on it at all, and you can customize the colors and content and things of that nature. If you do want to brand it even further, we have a BYO domain feature, so you can bring your own domain that you already own to RunSignup and just have us host that content for you. It's easy to update. There's no coding needed. It's all kind of like a WYSIWYG editor. And it's fully mobile responsive, as we've been seeing that 78% of traffic is on a mobile or tablet. All the components are dynamic, so they're updated in real time as things change. If you renew an event or you create a new one, it'll populate the calendars and things of that nature. Lots of easy components, custom call to action buttons for them to contact you or register and things of that nature. So let's get started with how to set up your organization website. So you might recognize this picture. This is our new website. If you just go to the RunSignup homepage, under the products tab, you'll navigate down to websites. And then at the button on the websites page, you just click or set up your organizational website. So the link is here below, and we'll also share that in the follow-up slide. That's the direct link, but you can also navigate it directly from the RunSignup homepage. So the first step, it's a very easy process. You're going to list the basic information of your organization, the name, the logo, and again, that logo is used on the website already. And then you can also put like your location information of the organization for directions and things of that nature. Continued on, the basic information step is the contact information. So if you expand and add our contact section, this will be the email where you would field those questions from people coming to your organizational website. You can also link to your external website if you wanted to, and then tell us a little bit more about your organization. That way we can show you the products and tools that most benefit you and your organization, whether you're a nonprofit, how many events you hold, and things of that nature. So once we've done the basic information step, the next step is the customer verification. So if you already are using RunSignup or any of our event services, you probably already have a payment account. We do require you to have a payment account in place for this feature, and that's because this organizational website, it's a free tool, but it's purpose-built for our customers. So to prevent abuse and to streamline everything for our customers, we do require that you apply your payment account here. And that helps us to also, understand more about your organization, showcase the events that you already have on RunSignup for those widgets that we're going to get into a little bit later. And this is similar to the org email feature that we have that we showcased a few months ago. It still requires the payment account to help us prevent abuse. Once you set this up, again, it's easy to connect your ticket events or races, which you'll need the payment account for anyway. And then the hardest step of all is step 3. It's just easy. And now it's time to get building with your website. So a very quick process to get up and running, to get the shell of the event to allow you to log in to the backend dashboard. So once you've gone through the organizational website wizard, you now have access to the full dashboard. And basically what we're going to cover mainly on this particular webinar is the website tab. Now, the few tabs that are in there on the dashboard, the website, that's where the magic is made. We're going to get into that in the next couple of slides. The basic info tab is basically re-editing the information that you had put in before. So maybe if you want to change that contact email to a different one, you can always go into the basic info and update that information. The organizational tab, that's where you can set up access. So maybe somebody else from your internal marketing team or what have you that needs to access it so they can make custom updates, you would add them in the organization tab. And then the payment account tab is just where you view and manage the payment account that you had set up in the wizard as well. So where the website gets built, obviously, is under the website tab. And so exploring the website tab, we have a cover page option. That's kind of like the landing and splash page where people first come to your website. There's the domain feature. Again, you can use the BYO domain feature, and you can also set up a subdomain. We'll also briefly get into the event theme and things that you can customize there. The website builder, which is going to be the core of the training on this webinar. And then the settings page allows you to do various custom options on the website. So we'll get into the website theme because that's probably the first thing that you want to do since most of the components are already kind of built on that color scheme. So in the website theme page, you have the color scheme. You can go back in and update your logo if you didn't have it during the initial setup. You have a banner image that you can do, or we can explore the cover page a little bit later. You can plug in your social media information, and then custom wording is where you can update the word organization to maybe nonprofit or to my website or something like that. There'll be other custom wording options to come in the future as well. So drilling into the color scheme, this is very simple to the color schemes when you're building a race website. You can match this to your logo. You can match it to your brand. It basically, gets the vibe of what you're trying to get people when they see your website. The default color schemes look really nice, but you can go in and customize whatever color scheme that you want. And there's some different options that you can pick from depending on what you want as the background, the font color. And then there's like a color swatch that we do. And so it's really easy to play off of those color swatches. And here's the grass theme. Since green is my personal favorite color, you have various shades of green. That way it kind of permeates throughout the website. And you always want to review your color choices whenever you make a change. Just preview your website, poke around the different tabs to make sure everything's legible. So that way customers can read it when they come to your website and they can get the information that they're looking for. The organizational logo, again, you can update this. You want this to be an evergreen logo, and what I mean by that is something that is your brand that doesn't change. So a lot of times I liken this to a race website where they might have the year or the date of the race in it. This is your brand, this is your logo, so that it shouldn't have any of that type of information in it anyway. But a square logo works better with the templates that we have built, and this is just a 400 by 400 image that's going to show up in the upper left-hand side of the website. The banner image, we have some custom banner images that are already preloaded, but you can update this. This will be the banner that appears on the home page when somebody first comes to the website. We recommend starting at around a 1200 by 400 pixel banner image. And then we have a croppy tool that allows you to scale and like kind of pick the part of the image that you want to show up, because everything scales on mobile. And so it may cut off a little bit on the tops and the sides. So you definitely want the focal point of this banner image to be in the center, just because we automatically scale to mobile and tablet. Now, if you do use a cover page, the cover page will supersede the banner, so you wouldn't even need to do a banner per se if you plan on doing a cover page. And so here's a couple examples of what that default banner option looks like. So let's get into the crux of building the website, and that is our website builder feature. So if you've ever used the ticket events, you'll be familiar a little bit with the website builder. This will also be coming to the race websites here. But basically, when you go into the website builder, you'll have a default starting page, and we just call it the info page by default. And so on the left-hand side, this is like the page editor where you can put headers and different components and things like that. And then on the right side is where you're building the navigation of your website. So think of that as like the menu bar and the different options that you would build. So the icons that are here is where you can make those changes, and you can click in and drill into the text to edit it. And so we'll kind of explore these in their own part moving forward. So this is kind of a close-up view of that section on the navigation. So we have those drag icons. That's the little dots in a square format. You can click and drag those, or you can just use the up and down arrows to move things up and down. So you can always keep your content fresh by changing around what's topical on the website. There's a gear icon that's at the top right. The gear icon goes into the settings of the page, so you can customize when that page gets published or if it should be hidden and things of that nature. And then if you don't want that section any longer and you don't want to just hide it with the settings, you can click the trash can icon to delete it. So there's a plus icon at the bottom, and there's actually two separate plus icons. One is to keep going with the current section that you have. That's the one that's in the little perforated rectangle there. And then there's a second one at the bottom to add a complete new section underneath of that one. And you kind of want to slice stuff up. So if you're going to be adding a content block that has a lot of paragraphs, you want to potentially think about adding those as separate sections, so that way you can easily click and drag or edit one part of it and not have to necessarily move it as a whole block. But it is up to you how you want to build out each section. So when we get into a section component, you can build out each page with as many of these options that you want, or you can have a page that's text, have a separate page that is like your YouTube videos. But these are all the sections that you can create within any of those pages. And you can mix and match these in 1 and 2 column approaches to make it look really nice and professional. And then once you add these sections, again, just like those up and down arrows or that little drag icon, you can move them around to keep the website kind of refreshed constantly. So at the bottom left-hand side of this page, you'll see where when you go to add a section, you can make it a single column, which would span across the entire page, or a 2-column approach, which basically would be a left side and a right side of the page to kind of break it up visually. Exploring the navigation, there's a way that you can just click a plus icon right at the top to add as many separate pages as you want. You can just link directly somewhere. So if you have your own website that you do like, but you want to use this to dynamically showcase your events, you can easily add a navigation menu that just redirects back to your website. That's the add new external link option. Or potentially you have other vendors and services that you use that you can always navigate away to there. Or you can build a page which would be custom, those custom sections that we just looked at previously. And you can build the navigation menu. So as you add different pages, you can edit those pages to make sub-navigation. So maybe you have a list of services and you have a services menu item, but then inside of that services is a drop down of all the different services that you might offer as an organization. So here's an example getting a little bit more in depth of what those gear icons and how to edit the navigation menu. The gear will allow you to make changes to those page settings, whether you want to display it or hide it. And then there's another option that you can set a custom date where it publishes. So maybe you're working on something, but maybe it's a thing that comes live on April 1st. You can allow it to create your page, but then it will automatically publish for you on April 1st. So it's a really nice feature to have when you want to plan ahead of certain contents or certain pushes that you're doing as an organization. Again, just like the other icons, we have a trash can icon, there's the click and drag icons, and then you have a plus, whether it's at the top or the bottom of the page to add more pages and more navigation. So here's the settings page that I've discussed a couple of times. That's the gear icon. This is where you can change the page title. So just the name that appears on the top of the page. The URL, you can actually customize what that URL would be, the end part of it there. And then here's the option to hide in the navigation or set those publish dates in the future. That way you can work on it. And then the last item is the drop down. So this is allowing you to create it as a sub item from like the master list, similar to that services tab that we mentioned. So let's get into like adding the content and actually using those sections to kind of get you a little bit idea of what we have in store. The first component is probably the most basic one because it's the text editor. It is the WYSIWYG editor. So if you've ever added a custom section on a race or ticket website, you'll be familiar with this toolbar. It allows you to edit, insert text, change the different types of font that you have here, add bold, italics, add links, center it, all that kind of stuff using those icons at the top of the toolbar. And the text component is supported in both a 1-column or a 2-column layout. And then as we get a little bit advanced with the text component, when you actually hover over the text after you've started writing a section or what have you, you'll see that there's a little toolbar that appears within the section. And so this gives you the ability to drag that section around rather than just the header. It allows you to move it up and down. And then there's an image icon where you can actually embed an image in the text component, which is a pretty neat feature that you can do. Again, it helps visually break up the page. You can showcase different things doing that. So we'll get into an example of that. So here's where I've embedded an image inside of that text component. And so it supports an inline image, and I can left justify it or right justify it, and everything is mobile optimized. So if I'm on a tablet, then the text will shrink and it'll all wrap around the image so it looks nice and it's all legible. So we actually do have a separate component, which is an image component, which can be its own section, whether it's a 1-column larger image or you wanted to break up the page with maybe a text component on the left side and an image component on the right side. So you can align the different options here within the section. Probably if you're going to go with its own section, you probably want to center the alignment as a recommendation. But you can also determine how big that size is, whether you want the original image to display, whether you want it to fill out the page, and that would be for mobile responsive, or if you just wanted to like 50% the image size. So you definitely want to be cognizant of what is the image height and width that you're originally uploading, because that would be what the original image is. And then you can kind of play around with it with that. But probably to start, you probably want to have the image centered and potentially fill the full width out there. There's also an option in here that you can hyperlink that image. So if the user clicks on that image, they can go to a different section of your website or an external section or whatever you want to do. So it's a really versatile feature to add as a separate image component, a little bit different than that embedding an image in the text component. The next one is those easy call to action buttons. This is the button component. So you can completely customize where you want the link of the button to go, the name of the button. So you can have it say, click here or learn more. And then you can put in whatever you want that link to go to. So you can do a custom URL, or you can have it automatically navigate back to the home page of your organizational website. And when I mentioned earlier about you wanting to do the theme first, this is where that theme first kind of comes into play, is we're going to use those theme colors that you already set up to give you an easy kind of color swatch to pick from. So because I went with the green color scheme, my button color is going to default to green as well. And then there's different layout options depending on what you're doing. So again, if you're doing this as a one section option and you're just doing a single button, you probably want to center that, but you can left and right justify the buttons as well. So those are 3 really nice components. And then we've also kind of built a 3-in-1 component for you. So if you know you're going to be adding an image with some more information either about the image, just as like a quick description, and then people to potentially learn more, then you can add a component which is image text button, and that kind of pre-builds those all in the same section for you to save you some time. So quickly add an image, you can put the text on there, and you can mix and match this. So if you wanted to do an image and a button, you just add this component, and then you can go in and hover over the text and delete it, vice versa. Or you can kind of build them separately, and we still give you the ability to use the up and down or drag icons to move them in the order that you desire. So another video component, or another component we have, is the video for YouTube. We support both a single video by plugging in the video ID, and we also support an entire playlist. So potentially you have videos learning more about your organization, or maybe you have a little bit of a playlist for anything that you're doing. You can add those, and again, you can add as many custom pages as you want, so you can have a different video about a different page depending on what you're kind of building out for your website. It's perfect for showcasing. People like learning more about your event. Think of this as like a free ad. Somebody's coming to your website, so you can put that 30-second YouTube video right on your page, and it looks super nice. People just click it and play the video right away. We also support a music playlist. So I have built kind of like a timing website. So I know there's music played at a finish line. So I added like a sample of a finish line kind of announcer DJ that I'll put on here. So we support a Spotify playlist. We also support Apple Music. And it's just a nice little thing to have if people want to go and click play on it and kind of see the music that might be showcased off. Again, not necessarily right for everybody, but you can customize this component to enhance the organizational website. And then the contact form. This is one of the best components that we have because it's data driven. Again, that's the info, basic info that you set up earlier with that contact email address. It's very easy. So on the left-hand side here, I'm showcasing that's the section where you have the contact form, and you can rename it. So on the right-hand side, I've actually renamed contact form to contact us. And then you just click the questions button and it'll expand, and then the person can fill out their name, email, and whatever question that they have for it. There is the reCAPTCHA, so that way it makes sure that we try to reduce spam coming to that email address, and it'll notify you that you got an email from the organizational website. So that way you can know, where that contact is coming from. Super simple to add, and it's just a very basic setup to get the information collected that you need. Now it is only supported currently in the 1-column setup, but that's because the form expands, and it's probably best to use it as that 1-column setup anyway. You can put it at the bottom of a page, so that way you can learn a little bit about your organization, and then if you have more questions, they just fill out the contact form. It also works great as its own navigation menu. So don't be shy about adding these components. You can add these components on multiple different pages, so that way the user doesn't always have to navigate away to various sections just to find your contact form. We also have a slideshow component, so you probably have a lot of images from your organizational website. We support up to 10 photos that automatically slide, as the person is hovered over the slideshow. And you can click and drag to reorder. So if you just want to change the order up, you just use that little drag icon and you can just move them around. Now you do want to be cognizant of the size of each of these images. So you ideally would have all of the images be the same height and width. That way it looks really sharp in the slideshow, and then it scales optimally for both mobile and tablet as well as desktop. But you don't have to. It's just probably a best practice to do is to have all your slideshow components be the same height and width. And again, this is one of those components that's a single column only, but that's because it takes up the full page to really showcase and highlight the photos. And then one of the coolest features that we have on the website or the org website is this card component. So you can add up to 4 cards, and this is slightly different than the image and the text option, because you can have 4 cards go up all at once, as opposed to having just a 2-column approach. In this screenshot, I'm showing that there's 3 cards on here, just to kind of highlight what the organization that I set up is offering, but you can add a 4th card. And it all supports responsive design again, because that's where a lot of people are, when you're emailing somebody, they're probably checking their email from their phone, they click the link, it goes right to your org website. So we need it to be responsive. So these cards are a very nice responsive design as well. And you can add, if you have more call outs that you want to do than just this, you can add as many sections as you want. So if you wanted a card to just be in the middle of the page, you can add a single card and then add as many different sections. Or if you wanted a grid of 3 by 3, you just add 3 cards, add a new section, similar to if you wanted to do 2 sections of 4. So you can really call out whatever features, highlights that you're doing on your website, and it's a really cool feature. So I definitely recommend everybody play around with the card component. Here's an example of kind of editing the cards. Right now you want to kind of upload and make these images 350 by 150 pixels for best results. That way, as you're scaling and scrolling, the full image shows up nicely with, so it's mobile optimized. You can add custom text to highlight the feature or action, and then you can make these clickable by typing in a URL to where you want when somebody clicks on that card, where you want them to navigate to. So very flexible feature. Another awesome component, which is something that probably everybody would want to use since you're already using RunSignup and you have multiple events, you want to add the event list component. So this highlights both races and ticket events. So it doesn't matter if you're using a race on RunSignup, a peer-to-peer fundraising event through GiveSignup, or you have a ticketable event, you can have all of those events show up in the event list. Or if you wanted to segment it, again, you can add multiple components. You can have a page where you're just showcasing off your races, and you can have another page where you're just showing off your ticketable events, and you can customize the event list to separate them. Or you can just have, hey, these are the events that my organization puts on, doesn't matter what it is, and they're all in one spot. So it's really cool. This is supported in the 1-column layout because we have a grid view as well as a list view, and we'll show those on the next one because it's very easy. All you do is just add the section, and then you just click that edit settings button, and that'll take you to the event settings. So you can show both races and ticketable events. So I'd probably recommend, just everybody's here on your organizational website to have a one-stop shop for everything that you're doing. And there's 2 different types of layouts. Again, that's personal preference, whether you want them to be listed or you do a grid view. And then you can include multiple different IDs. So if you're working with other organizations in your local community, you guys can showcase and highlight each other by plugging in various different IDs. And everything is based off of an ID, which is very easy to see whenever you're on the dashboard of that feature. So if you're ever in the back end of your race dashboard, if you just look in the URL, you'll see there's a number at the very end of that, and that's just the race ID. Same thing if you're on your timer dashboard or partner dashboard or ticketable event dashboard, just go to the main dashboard, look in that URL, and there'll be a number at the end, and that's going to be the ID that you would plug in here if you wanted to include that. So if you need any help with this, don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be happy to make sure you get the right IDs to list out all the events that you need. And once you get those IDs plugged in there, it's going to be dynamic whether the event is over or whether the event is renewed the following year. It's just going to keep coming back in your upcoming events section, or it'll show in the past events section once you kind of highlight those information in there. So here's an example. Again, this is all responsive design. The list view example is to the right, so that's just going to be in chronological order from the top down. And then we have the grid view example will be in the bottom left, where it's just kind of showing a block. And those will be in blocks of 3, and that'll just keep scrolling down the page the more events that you have. And you'll notice here that there is an upcoming event side, and then there's a past event side. So for races and anything that has results, you'll have the results component, and then we'll have different options for different types of events that you have posted on their event list. So let's get into the back end a little bit again, just to kind of showcase you. We kind of talked about each component separately, but let me just show you kind of what that design starts to look like as you're building it out. So this is putting everything together, where right now we have two separate sections. So at the top of this, we've created a 2-column section where we have a text block on the left-hand side, and we have an image block on the right-hand side. So this is building out like requesting a timing quote as an example. And so I'll list out like, hey, this is the information that I want you to send me so I can best, determine, if we're right for your event. And then just put an image here just to like highlight what it is. You can put anything that you want. The logo is already on the website, so instead of going with the logo, I just went with, requesting a free quote. And then at the bottom section, we just added that contact us form, but I removed the section title. You'll notice that there's like a blank bar at the top of it. I didn't need a section title. I just kind of had the contact us section there. And so when you scroll over and you look at the website, again, here's another example of what a 2-column and a 1-column approach kind of looks like. Where I have a text block filled out with a image block below it, and then you have a second section below that. So again, you can mix and match, move things around, and this is an idea of like what a services page could look like, just to kind of visually appealing, break up the eye, and make it easy for somebody to kind of read and learn more about your organization. So here's the front end view of that timing quote that we did. So again, you'll see that it's got the 2 sections at the top, and then you have the contact us form at the bottom. And again, it doesn't hurt to put these components on multiple pages. In the example on the services page, I have multiple buttons that says, request a quote that, links them over here. And then at the bottom of that, you can contact the form too. So as many pages as you want, as many sections as you want. And you can kind of mix and match things to your heart's content to make it look and work the way you want it to. So here's an example of what those cards look like from the front end. Again, these are visually appealing. It calls out to the eye. Your eye is going to navigate directly to those to learn more about the different things that you're trying to highlight. You can link those to external links or within your own website. Again, they're all mobile responsive, and this is that 3-card view, and you can add up to 4 for each section. And again, you can add as many sections as you want. So if you wanted to stack multiple cards on top of cards, or again, break it up where you have 3 cards at the top, and then you have a little bit more text block and explaining something or buttons, and then later down the page, you want to add 3 more cards, you can do stuff like that. So very easy if you have like affiliate partners that you work with that are on a rotating basis. You definitely can add those to highlight the different organizations that you work with around your community. So let's briefly touch on the cover page. So hopefully people are fairly familiar with the cover page since we have those for both races and ticketable events. But this is basically a professional mobile optimized landing page. So think of it as the wow factor, or like a flyer that you can quickly tell people about your website, and then let people navigate off of that to learn more about the different content. So you want to kind of keep this high level. It's easily to split into a header section where you can have a scrolling banner, and then you can have different content that kind of gives the cliff notes of your organization. You can drive action with plugging in custom buttons, and then kind of visually get that page appealing with having a slideshow at the top. So let's kind of get into what that looks like on the background. And the quick overview is the cover page is broken into 2 different sections. You have the header, which allows you to have up to 5 different banners. The advanced settings option allows you to customize a slideshow, so it automatically will scroll through the up to 5 different images that you have. Or you can just add, just one banner that's just kind of static on the cover page. It's really up to you how you wanted to do it and what you're trying to showcase for your organization. So if you have multiple things going on at once, then potentially you have a main banner, which is like your general banner, and then you scroll through the different upcoming events that you might have. On those banners, you can add buttons and things to link to more info. And then the next section of the cover page, you kind of split into 2, will be the content. So there's various different data types that you can put in there, whether you want to plug in your social media, whether you want to plug in call to action buttons, video, and things like that. Again, you want to keep this like short and sweet because it is the cover page. It's supposed to be like the introduction to your website, and then people will learn more by navigating off of those highlighted sections. So drilling into the banner, again, you can have up to 5 different banners. The title, all this information is optional. So if you just wanted an image, you can just have the image. If you wanted to put a title and a description or even a button on top of it, you can kind of mix and match and play around with what those look like. And back to the whole color scheme, we do have the overlay option. So again, this is designed to kind of be like a background banner where you can overlay text and stuff like that. So you can kind of darken the image a little bit, so that way the text really stands out that you're trying to showcase. The title is an H1, which is SEO optimized for search engines when they're trying to crawl. So if you are trying to put in search-friendly content when people are looking for stuff, you definitely want to add a title because that helps with it. And adding keywords in the description is nice as well. So again, you can add color, just like a generic color block with text on it if you're doing like some hashtag or trying to get people to follow you on Instagram, stuff like that. Or you can add an image with a nice background. So the different content sections, they do have data components. And again, this is similar to the website builder where there's, you either have a full width section or you have a 2-column section. And then you can break the page up that way by adding content on either the left column or the right column. We do have custom actions, which serve up to 3 separate buttons that you can put. So you can have somebody navigate a way to learn more about your organization. You can link to have somebody to donate to a current campaign that you have going on, or maybe you're highlighting a specific race or run, walk, ride event that you want people to sign up immediately, and you can just create that custom button for it. We also support video right on the cover page. The data component right now is a social media share. So if you want people to share your organizational website on their social media, then you can add those data components. We also support images. And then again, you can change up the content type with the gear. So it's really, you don't have to necessarily delete a section. You can always edit it and change what type of content that you want to add. So if you've added a single section that's full width, you can, inside of that, you say, no, I don't like the way the full width goes. You don't need to delete it. You can just add the other column on it and change the data type. So it makes it really easy to kind of click and play around with. And all of these sections you can drag and drop, again, to make things visually appealing once you kind of preview the cover page. So here's a content section example where you've added custom buttons. And again, the default picks from the color scheme, but you can change stuff up depending on which colors you want. And all of these buttons can have a custom URL with either opening up in the current window or opening up in a new window on your browser tab. So depending on what you want to do, but you want to keep this simple. You just want to make the cover page very easy. Again, it's the Cliff Notes. If people are interested and they want to learn more, you navigate them to learn more about your website. And it's very easy because you didn't invest too much detail into the cover page. You can always refresh it very easily to keep things fresh from season to season as people are navigating your website. So here's kind of a before and after view. Again, if I didn't have didn't have the cover page set up, this is that default banner that I was mentioning earlier when you're going through the basic website setup. And then we had the info page that was on there. Once we add a cover page and we've added a header option with the header and the description, and then we've added some social media buttons with images and custom action buttons, you can see how you're actually building a nice looking landing page to where people understand what your organization's about, and they can quickly find more information through the navigation menu that you've created and through custom actions. So again, you want stuff to be above the fold when they first land on the website. And then you also, as they're scrolling through the website, you want to give them those actions, closer to the bottom of the page. Just makes it easy for navigation. It scales both on desktop as well as tablet and mobile experience as people are learning and going through your website. So we'll get into the BYO domain option. So if you're an organization, you probably have a domain. By default, we're going to use the RunSignup or GiveSignup or TicketSignup brand for wherever you're creating it, and then what your organizational name will be added at the end. So that's the top link there. So in this example, it was runsignup.com with our website being TimingMat. But I do have my own domain, so I've actually set that domain up, and I own that domain separately. So I can point that to a WordPress website or whatever hosting site that I already have. Or if you set up this organizational website on RunSignup, now you can point that domain to the RunSignup organizational website, and you always own your domain, and then you're just letting us host the content for you for free. And again, all of that is secure. You'll notice that the HTTPS is there. So we have www.timingmat.com. Additionally, if you do like your website, or you pay a web developer to create your website and you have all kinds of bells and whistles on it, you don't have to, lose that branding and still be able to use the dynamic components of RunSignup. So that event list component or a quick contact form, once you see the events that are on there, you can kind of create a basic organizational website that highlights that event list right on the home page of it. And then you can use our subdomain feature. So what I've done here is I've also set up a subdomain with just events.timingmat.com. So that would allow somebody to have their own WordPress website or professional website, but then not have to constantly pay a web developer to say like, hey, my race is live now, I need you to update the home page to put this new event right front and center. Because our event list component is automatically dynamic, you can just have them redirect to the branded version and just subdomain it out. So you still keep that branding front and center in the URL. Now, in order to set up the domain, you do need to have DNS access, whether you're using a host service like Namecheap, domains.com, GoDaddy, Google Domains, stuff like that. There is some technical information involved. There is a help button that will take you to an example of what you're looking to do, but it is a bit technical to set this up, but it's a very quick process to go through. So we host the content for you, but we give you the free SSL and it's your domain. And again, we can do any type of subdomain. We support .com, .net, .org, various other ones as well when you're setting those up. So let's kind of get into the roadmap of what is to come with organizational websites. So partner websites are generally going to probably be the same as the org, but they're going to be tied directly to the partner account from a security perspective. So if you are already a partner on RunSignup, you'll notice that these features are going to be coming to what you might have already experienced with the partner website. That way you get the same website builder, you get the same dynamic content, you get the cover page, and all of the widget components that are going to be coming with that. So that's coming soon, and that'll be linked through your partner website dashboard. The event list, we're going to be adding all kinds of updates to better showcase the results of your events, grouping events together so that way you can better separate and highlight different things that you want to on the event. And if you have any ideas of what you want that event list component to do, definitely let us know. We're definitely, we have some ideas already, but we're always welcome for feedback. The variety of improvements on the website builder, we're going to be adding a fave icon option, so that way when somebody bookmarks your organizational website, instead of just having the generic icon for the browser that they're on, they can actually be your branded your logo. We're going to support separate metadata tags. We're re-updating all the HTML to go through this next round of SEO optimizations to also better help people find you and better on brand for what you're doing. So lots of cool improvements coming for the website builder. So part of the website builder we're going to be adding is an image gallery. And basically what the image gallery option is going to allow you to do is once you upload something into this gallery, it can easily be shared across the RunSignup functionality. So you can upload an image gallery and you don't have to then also upload that images in a race or in the email builder. It's all shared between all of the access points that you have. So you can upload the image once and you can share it between the website builder or the email builder, which is a really nice feature. So you can make better looking emails. And then if you added an image to an email, you can then showcase and highlight whatever that push was that you were doing marketing wise on the website. So pretty cool there. The initial rollout of websites is going to have a toggle where you're going to go back and forth to this website builder as well. So again, this might be an introduction to the website builder for some of you. If you're used to our ticket event system, then you've probably already seen this website builder before, but we're going to be rolling this out to race websites in the future. But if you already built the cover page and stuff like that, we're going to have a transition into the new builder. And then here's a preview of that image gallery just to kind of show you what it looks like, where you can set up multiple different folders. You can have different titles and alternate text that shows up, which is always important for screen readers to do. So that way, if you have the title of what the image is, it can show up, as well as the various text putting in different banners, so you can easily find out where you've put that information. And that way you don't have to constantly upload the same photos to multiple emails or to various features of our website. So we're gonna support both a copy to and a copy from, which easily shares that image across races, ticket events, and again, the email builder as well as the website builder. So really cool stuff with the organizational website. So I hope everybody learned something today, and thank you for joining. Do we have time for any questions, Elizabeth?
Yeah, we have some time. There's a couple questions. I think I got to all the questions that were in here up to now, but there's a couple that we might go over for the group. And if you are on and you want to type one in real quick, go ahead. So here's one. How does this integrate with the club/membership management part of RunSignup?
Great, yeah, so this would, currently we don't have like the event list, so it wouldn't necessarily showcase the club in like the event list, but you can easily create like those card components or an image component, the custom call to action buttons. You can always link to go to wherever you want. So if you are a club or you're gonna do the membership, we are revamping that separate landing page where people would actually do the registration for the membership, but this would be the overarching thing. So if you are a club, and that is your organization, as we are a club, and maybe you're through Roadrunner Clubs of America, you could use this as the main page for your website, and then use one of those various components to link over to the membership platform. Again, it's totally optional. If you're mainly a club, then maybe you potentially keep the club option there. But what's really nice about using this as an org website is I like the event list component, which will probably eventually add to the new membership upgrade as well, because we already have a list of races that you would get a discount to. But you can explore this and at least set it up. I mean, it's free to set up. You can kind of concept out how you want to showcase the events that maybe your club puts on. And if you do ticket options, right, like maybe there's a gala that you put on for the races that you do, or end of the season party, that way you can use a ticketable event, but then you mainly are using running races. Then this org website allows you to kind of put everything into one place. And then you can also create your navigation to be like, need to renew your membership, click here, and that navigates directly into the registration path of your website. So yeah, definitely lots of options to do to kind of tighten that up with however you wanted to kind of explore it.
Similar question came in. If somebody already has a partner website that they built using our older partner website functionality, what should they do? Should they switch to this?
So if you like some of the components that you saw today, like you can switch to this. But if you're happy with the partner website, you can probably hold off on it right now until we actually link everything into the partner account. But if you wanted to get started, I have customers that have done both actually. So I have ones that just genuinely like the way that the partner website is, because they've invested a lot of time in it and put it in some custom HTML to it. And then ones that are kind of getting started new, I've kind of actually navigated them one way or the other depending on what their actual needs are. So based off of what was covered today, if you like that information, then definitely get started with it, because this is the website builder is the future that we're going to. And eventually the partner website will transition into this, but it might take a little bit of time. So there's no rush to do either of those, but it's kind of personal preference into what you actually want to highlight.
We have a question here about draft mode. So does it only get published after you approve? Does it stay in draft or working mode until you publish?
So the settings, there is, are we talking about the I think if I can get to that.
I think they're referring to the overall website. Like if you're creating one, is there a draft mode option?
Yeah, there's no draft mode option for this. It's live right when you create it.
Yeah, I don't think we have draft mode for organization websites.
Yeah, so yeah, and again, it generally takes a while for somebody to look at something. And so once you publish it, like don't fear. Like if somebody finds your organizational website, like great, but most of the time they're gonna have to get pushed via marketing or some sort of email from you to even know about your website. So again, you're not using the BYO domain feature to like push it out. Like by all means, make sure you've tested it before you start using the domain feature. But yeah, don't worry about having it be live immediately. The earlier you get it out there, then the earlier that the search engines can crawl and start listing your event to get it ranked higher. So you want to jump on that as soon as you want.
It looks like there's some other questions that have come in, but some of them are kind of specific to individual situations. So we will follow up with you if you didn't get your question answered later today or tomorrow. But I think we are pretty much caught up as far as questions.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for everybody joining today, and looking forward to seeing some beautiful org websites, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying the remote. It's not working. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm at a rave back here. I've never been to a rave, but this is how I imagine a rave would feel. Anyway, let me know when the people are done watching the video, okay? Because I need to thank them all for watching and tell them they can subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell and all if they want to see more videos from us. Plus, I was going to ask them to like the video, click the thumbs up button and all that. So just keep an eye out, all right? Gotta get this thing figured out. What is this? All right, I think I slowed it down, but it's still, I don't get this.